That's President Obama announcing his free community college plan, and while details including the cost have yet to be announced, criticism is already. Congressman Diane Black is a Republican from Tennessee, and her state already has a plan to fund higher education. Congressman, the president went to Knoxville because he said you guys have a successful version of this going on already, yet you're not in favor of what he's proposing. Why?
No, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'm not surprised that the president would come to Tennessee. We're doing things right there. We have a low debt burden on our citizens. We balance our budget, and the legislature works with the governor. This is a state initiative. It's not costing the taxpayer anything there. We're using excess lottery dollars to do it. And the president's just come up with co-opting this idea and say we're going to just spread it across the entire country. It works for Tennessee. It may not work for cash-strapped states, and it certainly doesn't work for our building debt that we have. And I don't think this is a good idea for a national program. And
to your point, although the details are sketchy, from what I understand, the thought is that the federal government will come up with 75% and each individual state would kick in 25%, again, putting the burden on taxpayers who aren't even in certain cities or certain states. But the idea that it is working somewhere, could that be the kernel of trying to flesh this thing out nationwide?
Well, I think that's up to each of the states to determine how they best can use a model that we have set up that at least appears is going to be a good model. We're just starting out with it. Once those lottery dollars, the reserves are low and they're not able, we don't have additional reserves, then the program will be reevaluated. But it really is a state initiative, and it should be that way. And this is what states should be doing. The federal government shouldn't be involved in everything in our lives. It should be the state that makes that decision what's best for them.
Some opponents of this are already calling it not very flattering, cash for flunkers. What's the academic? How rigorous is the academic requirements for the Tennessee program? Because it feels to me and a whole lot of other people watching that ultimately this will be a plan that sort of ushers in people into community college who really aren't suited for college in general.
You bring up a very good point in that is everyone really suited for college? Is it where they belong? Is it where their interests and talents lie? And I think that's a very good point. Our program is for those that are graduating from high school. It's not for everyone. They must maintain at least a 2.0 average. They have a mentor that will be working with them. And as well, they'll have to do some community service to show that they appreciate the dollars that are given to them. So it does have a lot of parameters around it, and that is just what we should be doing. I want to say that, the president calls this free. It's not free to future generations as we build up this debt. I have 6 grandchildren. I don't consider this to be free at all. When you put it on the credit card, it is not free, and it does burden future generations.
Yeah. Already the federal government approaching $1 trillion on student aid without this. Thank you very much, Congressman.